All right, so today we are going to do 21 KX250 versus the 21 YZ250. We have Kip, who I'm calling beginner level. That's not an insult.
It's true.
That's not an insult. I'm gonna call myself amateur level, even though that's probably not true. I'm gonna call AJ pro level, which is true. So. We're gonna just ride the bikes 2 laps each, back to back, and then do our thoughts. The whole idea behind this is to like kind of skip the bogus. Like, if you're watching this video, you've probably watched literally all the tech specs on these bikes. I know that I had. So we're just gonna leave all that for everybody else, and we're just gonna talk about our opinions. Like, literally come back, say what we notice about the bike, and then kind of just round it off as to which one we had the most fun on. But these are the 2 bikes that always go head to head, so this should be fun. Kip goes first, I go second, AJ goes third. Sound good?
This is the first time I've ridden this one too.
Yeah. No, you went up and down the
It'll feel pretty similar.
The bars feel a lot narrower.
Like,
I think they're bent back a little bit more. Oh, actually, these are really wide bars.
No, I think those ones are really wide.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Hop on your bike.
I'm tired.
So.
off the bat, yours going through the corner over there.
Yeah.
I mean, like this thing has way more power, I feel, going through the corners. Like it's just easier low. And even in third, I was getting, because I wouldn't downshift into second very often. In third, pulling out of corners would be a lot easier on this bike. But this first corner right here, coming in with speed and then gradually going through it and hitting the jump, that handled a little better. I felt so much better on this bike going up the hill. It was just easier to control it. Going down the hill, it was better with this one as well. Again, the power I just think is here in this bike. That bike definitely handles
Like
higher.
where?
Just
Like
taking off.
Yeah.
That bike has better, if you're holding speed, it does a lot better. Through corners, through jumps, through everything. Also, going over jumps, that seems a lot more playful than this. Braking bumps, I think this handles it a lot better. I mean, it might be not broken in all the way, but I think this one handled braking bumps better. Overall, I'd go with this just because I like it. It's easy. I think it's easier to ride if you're a slower rider, like a beginner, because it's just easier to slow down and then pick up speed quick. I feel like with that bike, you have to try to maintain it a lot more.
All right, here we go. You left me in gear. was surprising. Well, weird. I feel like the mid power of this bike is way better than that one, but I do feel like that one has a better bottom end.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really surprised, honestly. The Yamaha is definitely like easier to ride though. That one's a lot more playful, meaning like in the air you can push it around and kind of, it like feels lighter. This one definitely feels heavier. I don't know if they actually are or not, but the weight feeling, I should say, of this one makes it feel like it's easier to ride. While that one, I feel like you can be more aggressive on. Like I feel like the Cowie, you can just like put it wherever you want it, but this one will keep go in a straight line. The braking buffs coming down the hill were 9 million times better on the Yamaha than the Cowie. And honestly, I think the rollers going up the hill were a little bit better on this one too. You know, like my riding style, I like to like jump around into stuff. Like I like perfect example is coming up this hill where it's not really a step up, but if you like blip the throttle right at the end, you kind of just like pop over it. That was a lot easier on this one, on the Cowie, than the Yamaha. But the Yamaha is a lot easier to ride. So, because I like being an idiot and throwing my bike around, obviously I'm going with the Cowie. I also own the bike, so there's a little bit of bias. But if I were to just go out and want to ride and not be aggressive, this is the bike for sure. I'm very surprised. But yeah, honestly, like, I think both bikes are probably comparable. They're just for different people. We'll see what AJ thinks, because he's actually pro. These are bone stock. We haven't touched anything on either of them. Literally, these are how they come off the showroom floor. So just burn 2 laps, and then we'll meet you at the top of the starting gate, and you can hop right on that one and do 2 laps, and then we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
All right, 2 laps, 21. Pulls forever. It just keeps pulling.
Am I going right on that?
What's that? Yeah, go right on it. And we'll talk about it after. Just keep your thoughts on this bike.
Okay.
While you go on that one.
Okay, have fun.
First one other than you to ride it?
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna break it in. You might see some smoke come out of the exhaust. It feels faster just twisting the throttle. Wow, it's loud. Definitely way wider, obviously.
pleasantly surprised by the Cowie. I thought this was gonna blow it out of the water. Power-wise, nearly identical, which I did not expect at all.
Huh.
Even just, you start fire this thing up and twist the throttle, it sounds and feels more snappy. The Cowie arguably had more bottom end than this did. Third gear, mid to top end, so coming out of the right-hander before the big 100-foot tabletop, by the time I was at the face, about to catch air, this bike was a little stronger. Like, could you tell I was getting over the table slightly easier on this bike.
Sure.
But bottom end hit, so the tight right-hander right before you go up the crazy rough hill, I was able to leave in third gear on both bikes, but this bike required a lot of clutch feathering. That one in third gear did not. So, and with that being said, you didn't have to shift fourth going up the hill. The Cowie, I was able to do fourth around that turn up the hill. The Yamaha had a downshift to third and then quickly upshift to fourth. So usually signs of having to shift a bike a lot typically says that it's slower. But it had its spots where it was faster. Suspension also didn't impress me that much on this bike either. Normally the Yamahas are really plush and the Cowies have more of a rigid front end feel. I thought the Cowie was almost more plush than this. This bike, and I'm sure there's ways to fix this with grip tape, whatever. This bike is way more slippery than the Cowie. The Cowie, you have more frame feel. This, you're like gripping to the plastic, so naturally your knees slide forward and back a lot easier, which I didn't like. I got arm pump a lot quicker on this bike than I did on that. It's wider, obviously everyone knows that with the Yamaha. I don't prefer that. I probably prefer the narrowness of the Cowie. Everything else, your basic controls all feel identical. Throttle's maybe a little bit more responsive and like easier to twist on this, but it's still very, very good on that bike. Both bikes shift very smooth. They're comparable, but I would pick the Cowie. And I know people are gonna say, well, you're biased because you ride Cowies. I'd be curious to see like a done-up Yamaha versus a done-up Cowie. Because I know the Star bikes are definitely, there's no questioning that the Star bikes are faster than the others. Yeah. Even the PC Cowies, the Geico Hondas, all that.
Well, that surprises me.
Very even, very even. And I expected this bike to win.
Easy bias. I chose Cowie, he chose Yamaha. I was surprised as to how different they were, believe it or not. But now that I've been off of it for a while, I feel like they're basically the same. It's kind of weird. I felt like the Yamaha handled the hills way better, and I felt like it wanted to go in a straight line, while the Cowie wanted to like kind of jump wherever you wanted to put it. So I was saying it was bittersweet because like, if you want a bike where you can,
Sorry.
if you want a bike where you can like flick it, it was the Cowie. You know what I mean? I felt like I could put the Cowie wherever I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
I felt like the Yamaha just wanted to go like smooth and straight, if that makes sense.
Which was nice when you needed it to, like,
yeah,
as far
exactly.
as like straight line stability.
Right.
And what was your breakdown?
I thought the YZ was a lot easier to go slower. I mean, I don't go fast. I don't push it. Yeah. I thought it was a lot easier to go slower, and I think the low end was
and to still produce power.
Yeah, it was easier to kind of go slow into corners and come out of them. Quicker. The KX, I felt you kind of had to maintain speed a lot easier, or a lot more.
I could see that.
Yeah,
especially depending what gear you're in.
The Yamaha was easier to ride, but the Cowie was more aggressive. And I thought the bottom end on the Cowie was way better, which shocked me. Because I thought, you know, everybody talks about how Yamahas are the kings of bottom end, but...
Now the Yamaha has a 50 rear tooth. What does the Cowie have out of the box?
I have no idea.
50 probably?
Probably 50.
Maybe 51.
Probably 50. Yeah, I was surprised. I don't know. It was cool. I think so.
Dude, this is not cool.
Yeah, the bees are legit.
I'm not trying to make a shot when I'm dipping in my sun. Got the Gucci band across my chest, yeah.
Who needs motocross action when you have Kip, Cam, and AJ?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's all you need in life.
I mean, you're missing a two-stroke, but... Six shots.
I could put the Cowie wherever I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
I felt like the Yamaha just wanted to go